Evening, everyone. I'd like to open the meeting. Please stand for pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Motion to approve the minutes of the May 9th, 2024 regular board meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the May 9th, 2024 board.
Is there a second? I'll second. Been moved and supported that we accept the minutes of the May 9th, 2024 regular board meeting. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Being none, carried. The treasurer's report is in front of you. Any questions, discussions? If not, place them on file, please. Manistee Township Planning Commission met May 1st, 2024 for a work session. And we received the minutes of those, as well as the May 15th, 2024 public hearing, and the May 15th, 2024 special meeting minutes. Any highlights or anything on any of that?
And I need to add that you also have the accepted minutes of the May 1st meeting, as well as the work session. It's
Oh,
not on the
There's 4
agenda.
minutes.
It's for
Yeah,
for
we
the-
did, yeah.
Okay, that being said, any highlights, any? Okay. There was no appeal. Anyone with anything to bring before the board at this time? County Commissioner?
Okay, good evening. Well, give you a quick rundown. Hazard mitigation plan was adopted by the county. Now we've got 1 year to go out and, before all the local units that participated in it and try to get it adopted. So Alvin will be around in his travels. We debated commissioner pay. With like-sized counties, there's not going to be any change in our current pay scale. So it's going to be set for the next term, which will be 4 years starting this election cycle in November. It will be sworn in January, without looking on the calendar, probably January 2nd. We appointed Ted Botzer and Glenn Zaring to the county zoning board, or not zoning, planning commission, I'm sorry. Kevin Hughes, District 10 manager, came before us with an annual review of what's going on. And probably one of the biggest topics, and I'm sure you folks have been seeing it in your township news, and that is septic code. There's like a septic code. There's a big push to try to get it to a 5-year inspection. We would not be able to find the staff. We don't have the resources to do it. And if you could snap your fingers and have it done tomorrow, you wouldn't have the ability for it to be treated in the process of having it done.
This is a statewide.
It's a statewide push, and it's at the moment, it tends to be a one-size-fits-all. So at any
In Lansing.
Yes.
Lansing, yes. So, District 10, which is 10 counties, we had a resolution that was done on the fly, set on that board. We also have a lawyer that helped write it up, so it looked pretty decent. And anyways, we've kind of been leading the charge on the state and fighting that. We're not against the septic code per se, but it's got to make some sense. It can't just be a willy-nilly type thing. There needs to be some people involved in the process and make sure it's something that's doable. So anyways, that's that. Last month we had Corrections Officers Week and also National Police Week. And in the process of that, as I've always said before, Sheriff Gutowski does a fantastic job. His corrections officers do a great job, as well as the deputies. Can't say enough on their behalf, but again, we're fortunate to have who we have sitting in those positions. We okayed the summer tax levy. We signed a contract for the medical examiner to have a place to do their work. So that's a joint operation between Benzie and Manistee County. For the medical examiner and where they work. They work up out of I can't think of the name of it. It's up in Benzie County, where she does autopsies. That's needed. GIS, we have changed the hourly rate from $60 to $75 per hour to get that in line with where they tell us it should be. When I was at Onekma Township yesterday, it was brought up that that's something that we should probably look at, trying to see what we can do, how to improve that. I need to have a chat with Katie Mel about that and see where she thinks we are with that. We waive fees regularly if it's local units on some of this stuff. But when it comes to like, if you have an app, like I have an app on my phone called Onyx, they pay for that GIS data, and that's where it's not there for free for picking, so to speak. We also signed a letter of support for inside Onekma for a walkway. It's supposed to be up to 2-3 miles for that, which is just a letter of support. We have Barry here, Contour, we redid and asked the DOT to hold off on our first recommendation, which was boutique, that I reported to the board, for the essential air service. So we asked them to hold off and not actually make that award. In the process of that, we had another airport authority meeting, and we had one other line, which was Contour 30-seat jet. I didn't, Barry, if we had any updates as far as DOT. So we don't have anything fresh, and that is, we've requested to have Contour, which is ticketed through American as well. And hopefully, we'll know honestly soon on that. Hopefully they'll be starting October 1. Cape Air they bid on it, but because they did not get the Muskegon contract, it really didn't make it financial sense.
So when does their contract expire?
The end of September, and hopefully we'll have the new one in place. So that's ongoing. Recycling, we're trying to get some dirt work done, so when it gets wet out, it's not going to be a problem, and move the recycle bins off of the fairgrounds per se, inside the fence where they currently are, and move them to the pole building on the southeast side of John Street that we have, which is to the north of the grounds outside the fence. There's a barn up there, a pole barn, pretty substantial size pole barn. So anyways, we're trying to work out.
County?
Yes, trying to work something out with the township to cover the cost of that improvement on that for the near future. As we also have trying to seek a large grant to try to do some bigger things out there.
And that's county or township, Onekma Township?
John, it became a big issue because it used to sit at the township parking lot. Last year they had the township parking lot repaved. So they wanted them moved out so they could have that done. It was gonna be a 2 to 3 week window in the process of that. We moved them over to the fairgrounds, then the township board did not want to have them brought back in. And it's been a bit of a point of contention for the fair board as well as the Lions Club. They don't want to have them there inside the grounds where they are. So we went and tried to make the best out of the situation. We tried to get the recycles location, which we were hoping to get a large grant for 1.2, 1.3 million for the north side of John Street where we have property there. But we weren't successful in that. So this is the low budget, hopeful fix for the near term.
So then again, let me ask, is it a county or Onekma Township?
It'll be on county property, and on Onekma Township, we've got a modest handshake agreement with nothing on paper yet. So we're trying to work on that. I will be working with the supervisor up there to try to get that done, and the township board is well aware of it.
You mean they'll manage, but it'll be on county.
It'll be on county property. You know, the school
They'll
works
clean it
with the
up.
trailer. Yeah, I mean, they're part of PA 69. I mean, the other locations throughout the county, I mean, they're managed. That's about. I don't have any news on the bridge other than what you've read in the paper. That's the most current I have, which has not changed from what I heard. I'll call them next week. I see things are cleaning up on the bridge as far as what's in front of for obstruction. That is definitely changing little by little. But I don't have anything fresh in regard to that.
Okay, any questions for Jeff? Thank you, sir. County, or Township zoning commission, Karen, you got anything in your office going on?
I do. For the month of May, there was one new written complaint received, some more unused furniture sitting in the road right away at 302 Parkdale Avenue again. I sent another letter and they removed that chair. There were 4 zoning permits issued, 8 requests for construction permits, 4 re-inspection fees, and 1 fee paid to reinstate a permit. The Planning Commission held a public hearing and special meeting on May 15th to review a special use permit application and site plan that was submitted for a proposed multifamily apartment complex to be located at 942 Parkdale Avenue. That's the corner of Frost Road and US 31. The commission did approve the special use permit application and site plan. And the proposal is for 2 buildings to be completed in phase 1, and there's 24 units per building. I have received building plans and all the plans for the trade work for the Riley apartment project. Those plans have been sent out to the proper inspectors for plan reviews to be completed prior to bids being sent out for the building and trade contractors. And then finally, I attended the groundbreaking ceremony for the addition and renovation at the Manistee County Medical Care Facility in May.
Questions? Thank you.
You're welcome.
How about across the road, Joe? You got anything going on over there?
Okay, since I missed last month from work, so this is gonna be April evening together, so I'm gonna start with April's 14 hours of medical calls, 7 hours of fire related, 2 hours of lift assist, and we did 6 hours at our meeting and trainings, 60 hours between me and the officers. In May is 16 hours of medical related, 3 hours of fire related, 2 hours of lift assist, and 8 hours at the meeting and trainings, and us officers did 78 hours. We did tight lines for troops. Me and Ralph went and showed up there to help the vets get on the boat. And of course Sam was there for, his job out on the boat. And everything went well. It was really good showing for them. The apparatus our ladder truck, testing was done, it passed, but found a leak on a line by the transmission. It's got to get fixed. I did send it to, it's not,
Used to be accurate?
yeah, it used to be accurate, but now it's something else. Anyways, I have to buy the parts, they don't have accounts, so I need to buy the parts and then they'll put it on. So we really swept up the station last month and actually mopped the floor and everything. We really went and cleaned it up. And I know a bunch of my guys was at the Township's disposal thing and to help out, which I appreciated them to do it. I thanked them. Anyways, the equipment, I ordered LED flashlights to replace some old flashlights on the trucks that don't work. I have received them, I just gotta put them on now. Also went and ordered some mounting brackets for the Helligans and Axis so they are secured and not just rolling free in the truck. I received those too. We're still actively recruiting. We got a couple of actually cadets, a couple of kids that are 16 that want to be cadets, so we're welcoming them on for that. And See here, training, we did some training on iGel, which is an airway piece. We also did vehicle extrication, apparatus driving, in other words, getting to know it. Station training, getting to know what's on the trucks. Stop the bleed, that's if we need to put a tourniquet on somebody, we did that training. We went and welcomed our 2 probationary firefighters for passing firefighter 1 and 2. So now they are firefighters. Their graduation is this Saturday. And I gave a huge thanks to the members that went to Chuck Barron's funeral. I guess the family thanked us for showing up. And I guess everything went well. And I had a couple of departments covering us while we were out of service for the funeral that day. And that's all I got for now.
How many hours did Ralph and Jacob put into that training to receive his firefighter 1 and 2 certificate?
Well, it's 6 months long, and most weeks were 8 to 16 hours a week. There was not always 16 hours, so I'd say, I think the state says that for firefighter 1, it's 133 hours, and then for firefighter 2, they say it's another almost 100 hours.
Isn't that like 280 total?
Something like that. But that's it, also including hazmat, because hazmat's 40 hours alone. So,
Well, if you'll pass our congratulations on to Ralph, Carol, and Jacob Pete for becoming firefighter 1 and 2. Appreciate their dedication and work they put into that. It's a lot of time to give up on Saturdays.
yes it is.
Any other questions? You got any liquor business going on in the township there?
No, normal business. I understand that the Insolence has new owners and they're trying to get beer back in there. Haven't heard anything yet whether he's got his license, but I'll check with him again. Other than that, everything's good.
As far as township updates, I don't have much to report. There's a lot going on here, nothing in particular, but I mean, it's a busy place. I might want to remind the people that are listening, because I don't think there's too many people here that play with fireworks, maybe, but there are restrictions on when you can use the fireworks during the 4th of July. You can use them between the 29th to the 4th, but this year you can use them on the 5th as well because it's Friday or Saturday. But you're only allowed to use them until 11:45 by state law. So we'll see how that goes.
11:45.
Yeah. Do you have anything to report? Item number 2 is to consider a resolution number 2024-05 for the Coast to Coast M55 scenic byway support. You received a copy of what they would like us to do. Sammy.
Lucas Gevich.
She was going to be here tonight, but she has an injury, and she apologizes for not being here. She will be here next week. They want to designate the M55 highway from Manistee Township to East Tawas as the coast-to-coast pure Michigan recreational byway designation. That allows them to do what, Jeff?
It's basically, it's a way to promote, promotion, advertising dollars, and it's no different what was done with M22, you know, a couple years ago, a few years ago, I guess, but it's the same thing, just that's now it's M55.
For the state for the last year, and who knows how much longer, has rerouted traffic around Manistee County anyhow.
Yeah, but John, that's
I
a whole different program.
Yeah, I know, they still look at,
There's no downside to this, it helps promote the tourism in the area, and
Well, if you want to promote Manistee, there's a beginning of both the M55 byway and the M22 byway.
I think there's actually, if M55 gets designated, I want to say 31's designated for a stretch of it as well, so.
Not through here, it's not.
No? Well,
Maybe a proposal for one somewhere?
possibly, I'd have to ask Sammy on that one, but we were talking about that recently. Anyway, it could be something they promote for the entire county because of that. And again, it's easier access, it might make for better options for trying to get funding options as well for maintenance on state roads. It's just, there's no downside to it, it's not gonna cost anybody anything, at least from the local level.
It would include M55, both sides of the road, part way, one side of the road, all the way to Pomeroy Road. That would be our portion. Manistee County has already adopted a resolution, correct?
Correct.
As Jeff suggested, I don't see any problem with it. Go ahead.
I have a problem.
Okay.
Same problem I had with M22. The last paragraph says, Township Board of Trustees hereby commits to enforce within its jurisdiction the management plan. And the plan hasn't even been written. Basically, they're talking about, they create a plan, they want a zoning, they want us to amend our zoning ordinance, because they don't have the authority to do that. The state doesn't, the feds don't. They've given it to the local units of government. So,
What'd you do on the 22 one?
we struck the same, we struck that language.
Same statement.
Yeah. Yeah, we support the designation, and we would, as I recall, of course it was a couple of years ago, that we would use the management plan in our, in our plan,
Master plan.
in our master plan, incorporate it as information, But we didn't commit to amending our zoning ordinance to fit the plan.
Sounds
Fit
fair.
it, especially one that's not even written at this point.
and to quickly designate in the
Right.
paragraph above it. When's the last time they ever did anything quick? You know,
It's like those yellow speed limits.
we're just taking good reading print here, and it's,
Okay, so why don't we table this till next month, till Sammy's here and, all
That's
right?
fine, that's fine, I'm good with that.
Okay,
I mean, if
very good.
you want to resolve to implement a plan someday in the future, that should be a separate resolution. Once we can see the plan.
I will relay the info.
Well, you've already committed to it. Of course, you have no land use authority at the county, so.
Yeah, they did. Okay, consider Michigan Department of Natural Resources memorandum of understanding. Doug, can you give us some highlights on that, please?
Yeah, it's a document. I mean, mainly, I'm trying to get you a $50,000 grant for the playground. And so, when I started asking questions, they asked me, you have an MOU, and basically the MOU, or Memorandum of Understanding, talks about what the DNR will do and what you will do. And the things that, the two items that you will do, you agree to be the fiduciary for the Natural Resources Trust Fund grant. And you also agree to apply for, which you've already done and been awarded, and administer the Natural Trust Fund grant. So those two things for a universally accessible playground construction network for Beach State Park. So those two things, you're signing off on those two things, and then it has a list of the DNR, what the DNR or PRD, Park and Rec Division, would do. We would also assist with the funding. We just got some more money for our friends group for the project. We would maintain full control of the property, so you would not be responsible if somebody got hurt or anything on that. And we would adhere to the grant applications and requirements associated with the development of the facility. So it outlines that equal opportunity and access, so, and then if there's any concerns, contact me or my supervisor. And then, I don't know if you want me to talk about the cooperative agreement?
No, we're gonna take these one at a time.
Oh, okay.
Has Richard looked at these?
I'm sorry?
Has Richard looked at these?
You made me change
A
them.
long time ago.
Yeah, a month ago, you made me change them.
Yeah. Or is everybody in understanding of what they're asking for? Any questions?
So you motion
Yes, please.
that the board enter into this memorandum of understanding with the MDNR, Parks and Rec Division.
Yes.
I make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll support it.
And move supported that we enter into a memorandum of understanding with the Department of Natural Resources for items mentioned in the memorandum pertaining to the Natural Resources Trust Fund. Discussion? Call a roll, please.
Mr. Dons?
Yes.
Mr. Flano?
Yes.
Ms. Jankowitz? Yes. Taylor is yes. Mr. Berquist?
Yes. Carried. The second one is a cooperative agreement between the Natural Resources and Parks and Rec Division, Manistee Township. This more or less says that we will follow through with the distribution of the money will only be spent on that project, yada, 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 correct?
Yep, and we're gonna give you 50 grand. I have to have this done before the end of the month, and so that's why I'm meeting here with you tonight. And again, it's equal opportunity. Concerns, talk to me or my boss Casey, and news releases. So I guess when we do the news releases or when we're doing a ribbon cutting, we can talk about what we want to say on it, I guess.
Well, the key issue here is that the ownership is the state park.
Yeah, so you don't have the liability.
Or maintenance.
Yeah, or the maintenance, yeah. And you guys are on Sigma, you're Sigma? You get payments from Sigma? Okay.
Well, we have an account, nothing comes through there yet.
There will be.
What's your wishes?
I'll make a motion for this cooperative agreement. What is it, for the MDNR at Manistee Township, for the purpose of conveying funds to provide the township and matching funds for Michigan Natural Resource.
Trust Fund. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved, supported that we enter into the cooperative agreement between the MDNR, Parks and Rec Division and the Township for the sole purpose of receiving additional grant funding as a match for the Natural Resources Trust Fund. I know it seems like a lot to do. Any discussion? You got a
I did.
question?
I just wanted to make a point. This is owned by the DNR.
Correct.
So in here, in both the memorandum and the cooperative agreement, we talked about information release. So all the information that goes to the public, to 7 and 9 and 10 news and all that kind of, the newspaper, goes through you. Doesn't, if they come to us,
We're not
we
to say it.
refer them to the
Right.
city.
Yeah.
I just wanted to point that out.
Well, I mean, I think it's a great partnership. I'd
Yeah.
like to acknowledge the things that you guys, the good things you guys are doing for the kids in the county, and especially the disabled kids in the county. I mean, I think this is going to be a universally, well, it will be a universally accessible, and I don't know if there's a lot of that here in this county, so that's a cool thing. So I would like to acknowledge you guys. This is a great thing you're doing, and I really appreciate it.
Any other discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Fino,
Yes.
Ms. Jankowitz,
Yes.
Taylor is yes, Mr. Dawn,
Yes.
and Mr. Berkowitz.
Yes.
Thank you.
Carried. Thanks, Doug.
Yeah.
Next topic is to consider a contract with County Road Commission to do some work for us here this summer. The only work we have on the agenda for them are the corners of Piney Road and Birchwood Road. I spoke with, initially, the Piney Road was discussed as being repaired full length. After speaking with some, not all, but some of the residents, I think if it was the general consensus that if the road commission used all of their right-of-way and redid the road, it would, number one, become a drag strip, and number two, that people would be losing their fences and trees and everything else. The roadway is very narrow through there. So the compromise was to repair the corner where the worst road surfaces are, and we wanted cooperation between them and us. They want to do 686.4 feet of the corner of Piney Road and Lake Shore Road, and that'll take them just past Maplewood. And the other one is 1,335 feet of Birchwood Road, and that will take it around the corner, halfway to the next corner, where it's obviously the worst portion of the road. Our portion of doing those two projects would be $34,730.
That's Birchwood Drive, not Birch.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Birchwood. What if I just say Birchwood?
Perfect. I don't care what I just said. Because Birchwood's the other side of the lake as well.
It's Birch.
Okay.
So, they're looking, they've already agreed to this contract at their road commission meeting on Wednesday. They're asking us to sign this agreement and proceed with the project. I'd like to see it done.
I make a motion that we go to the contract with the road commission to fix Piney Road and Birchwood Drive, Lake Shore Road to the east.
I'll I'll support that.
Been moved, supported that we enter into the agreement with Manistee County Road Commission for the repair of corners of Piney and Birchwood Drive to the tune of $34,730.07. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Yep, just let me get the bearings here.
Okay.
Ms. Jankowitz?
Yes.
Taylor is yes. Mr. Downs?
Yes.
Mr. Fino?
Yes.
And Mr. Berquist?
Yes. Just a note of interest is the new road commissioner and myself have had a couple of discussions, and he's going to come up with a plan, a 5-year plan that we should consider for funding for roads, the worst roads. And we're going to do a Pacer study. Because the road building is going to be pretty expensive, and it's going to have to plan for it. He's also came up with, he's going to work on a
Access management.
asset management plan. So he's a nice guy. Seems to want to work with people, I think so.
He seems to have experience.
He came from Traverse City, I think.
When is he gonna have this plan?
Oh, it's going to take him a while to do the Pacer studies,
Right.
you know, and physically.
I think Mark used to come in January, February, wasn't he? With those.
No, it'll be before that. The next item that's not on your agenda is we have to do some budget adjustments. You want to highlight those? Thanks, Jeff.
Senator Bumstead said to say hi.
Tell them send some money.
We've had some changes in our expenses in the current budget year. We're talking about the budget for 2023-2024 that ends at the end of this month. And we need to make some adjustments in order to be able to complete our year and stay within our budget. So budget adjustment number 1 has a total increase in revenues of $220,226 to offset additional expenses that are the same, again, $220,226,000. The changes are due to increase in sewer fees, construction fees, grant sharing, etc.
Just take the money from the budget from one item and place it on another,
That's
correct?
exactly what we're doing. We're moving it from one area of our budget to another.
And I think as things develop, it's going to be more of that because we can't foresee when somebody wants to put a sewer line that's going to cost X amount of dollars, although we're going to get that back in revenue. There's no way to budget for that because we don't know who's going to sell property and what's going to happen. So it's just going to be an ongoing thing that we work through each time.
So we need a motion, you have those adjustments in front of you, we need a motion to approve those adjustments.
Yes, I'd like a motion to adopt
Adopt
budget adjustment number 1 for the fiscal year 2023-24.
I make a motion to adopt the budget adjustments number 1 for the 2023-24 fiscal year.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and supported that we approve the budget adjustments for year 2023-24. Discussion? Roll call on that as well.
I do.
Call roll, please.
Taylor's next up, and it's a yes. Mr. Downs?
Yes.
Mr. Fino?
Yes.
Ms. Jankowitz?
Yes.
And Mr. Berkowitz?
Yes. Carried. Thank you very much. Now we need to pay the bills.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to those bills paid as presented along with any additional incoming bills for the balance of the month.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Been moved, supported, that the bills from May 1st to May 31st, as well as incoming bills for the rest of this month. Paid. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed, seeing none, carried. The MTA meets at 7 o'clock Wednesday, June 26th at the Town Hall. You have an appeal?
Not right now.
If you do, if Karen gets an appeal, it will be on Tuesday, July 2nd, 6 p.m. here at the hall. We will be closed July 3rd through Friday, July 5th for the 4th of July. Are we going to be closed Juneteenth as well?
I wasn't planning on it.
I mean, the county's closed. I don't care, whatever you want to do. All right, I'll leave it like it is. Manistee Township Board of Review will meet Tuesday, July 16th, here at the hall to correct errors and omissions. On that note, Manistee Township is in need of 2 members to sit on the revenue sharing, or not revenue sharing, board review. We need 2 people to sit on the board review, starting next March. If you're interested, there is some training available. You have to have training every 2 years. But there will be training available for the end of this year. If you know anyone interested to sit on the board review, we would appreciate their efforts. Manistee Township Planning Commission will meet Wednesday, July 17th at 9 a.m. here at the hall. The next regular meeting of the Manistee Township Board will be Thursday, July 11th, 7 p.m. here at the hall. Any other public comment? Motion's in order.
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
And move supported, we adjourn. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Being now carried. Thank you very much.